Lesson 6, topic, slope-intercept form. Learning target, I can use slope-intercept form to graph a linear function. Slope-intercept form tells you two things. It tells you the slope of your line, which is m, and it tells you your y-intercept, which is actually the b. So slope-intercept form is actually that y equals mx plus b form. So it could look like y equals 2x plus 7. It could look like y equals negative 3x minus 2. So it can take on that form. It can also look backwards, so it could be y equals 7 plus 4x. It can have it flip-flopped, but the same concept applies. So m, the number next to x, is always that slope. So the slope we talked about in lesson 5. And then your b, whatever you add or subtract onto that mx, is your y-intercept. So sometimes your y-intercept will be minus b, and that just means your y-intercept is negative. So let's practice. We're going to graph the linear function using our slope-intercept form. So the first step is to identify your slope, your m, and your y-intercept, your b. So I like to write the basic form above my equation, y equals mx plus b, and then that helps me easily identify my m and my b. So my slope, my rise over run, is 3/4, and my b, my y-intercept, is 4. When we graph, we always start with that y-intercept. We're going to go to our y-axis, that up and down line through the middle, and we're going to find 4, and we're going to put a point at 4. And then we're going to use our slope to give us the next points on our graph. So our slope tells us our rise over run. So our slope tells us that we're going to go up 3, because it's a positive 3, so we're rising 3. And then we're running 4. We're going to go to the right 4. So from this blue point at 4, we're going to go up 3. So we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, up to 7. And we're going to go over 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to put a point there. So if we look, we could draw that up 3 over 4 line. And that would be that slope. And we're going to do that one more time because we want 3 points on our graph. So we're going to go up 3 over 4. And there's that next point. And then we have to remember to connect all 3 points with a straight line because we are graphing lines. So that is our goal, to make that nice straight line. Let's try another example here. We want to graph the linear function y equals negative 1/3 x minus 2. So again, we want to start with writing that basic form, y equals mx plus b, right above our equation. And then we want to identify our m, which is negative 1/3, and our b. Now our b is minus 2, which is making that a negative 2, because that could really be rewritten as y equals negative 1/3 x plus negative 2, because remember, subtraction is adding the opposite, so we want to make sure we take that sign with our number. So it is a negative 2. So now again, we're going to start with that b, that y-intercept, and we're going to put it on our y-axis. So we're going to find negative 2 on that line, and we're going to put a point there. And that's our starting point. So then we use our slope, our rise over run, to give us our next points. So now when our slope is negative, it just changes one direction. So that negative 1/3, or negative 1/3, we only make the 1 negative. We don't say negative 1 over negative 3. It's just negative 1/3. So that negative 1 tells us we're going down 1. We're going to go down with negative. But then that 3 is still positive, so we're going to go to the right 3. So from our pink starting point at negative 2, we're going to go down 1, right 3. And then we're going to do that again. Down 1, right 3. If you want, you can do it as many times as you can. But we can have as many points on our line as we want. We should aim for 3 for sure. Then connect those points with a line. And then you're done. You've graphed your linear function. All right, one last example here. We have graph the linear function y equals 4x minus 5. So again, we can write that generic form above our equation, y equals mx plus b. And then we identify our m, which is 4, and our b, which is negative 5. Remember to take that sign with the number. So again, we're going to graph our function by starting with our b, our y-intercept. So we're going to start on our y-axis at negative 5. So we're going to put that point there. Then we're going to use our slope to get the next point. So now if we look, our slope is not a fraction, it's a whole number, it's 4. But any whole number can be rewritten as a fraction by just writing it over 1. So we can make this a fraction by saying 4 over 1. And now we have both our rise and our run. So I'd like you to pause right now, graph the rest of that function, and then check in to see if you did it correctly. So with 4 over 1, it's positive 4, so we're going up 4. And it's positive 1, so we're going right 1. So we're going to graph that by going up 4 from our pink dot over 1. And then we're going to go up 4 again over 1, up 4 again over 1. Connect all those points with a straight line. And we are done. That's all your notes. Go ahead and move into your practice.